Hey guys, this is Kelly again. I just wanted to give myself some time to rest and recuperate and compose my emotions because I have seen The Tale of Two Corys. The first part of it, seeing them meet as friends and getting to know one another and getting to understand that they were going to work together, was good. The first few minutes was okay. But once it got past them after they worked together on The Lost Boys, was really difficult to watch because Feldman did not know about Haim's prior abuse that was done to him on the set of Lucas till after they had filmed The Lost Boys. Um, the first, like I said, the first part was hard to watch because it dealt with all the drug usage. And you get all, Feldman and Haim had all the money in the world. You get what you want. You get alcohol, you get drugs, you get nice, fancy things. But I think, this is my opinion. Whatever I state in this video is my opinion. And I may piss some people off for this. When Feldman decided to get clean after he got busted with drugs, he told him to get sober and get clean because he didn't, he had got caught by the police for having drugs and, went to jail. And he told him, he said, bro, you and I could go to rehab together. You and I could get clean together. And Haim was kind of in a place where he was using because he was being abused. He had been abused. And he was using that to numb his pain. And like I said, Feldman was the only one that he told. He didn't tell anybody else. He only told Feldman. And even as an adult, during the second half, when they showed them as adults, Haim still had an issue because he didn't want to. He didn't want to deal with it. He didn't want to talk about it. When you've been, for certain victims, okay, because this is not for everybody. For certain victims, I myself am a victim. I will not go into detail. Those closest to me know about what happened. For certain victims, some use drugs, some use alcohol, some use both. Some act out, become violent, don't want to listen to parental advice. Some develop an eating disorder. In Haim's case, he decided to use drugs to numb his pain because he did not want to deal with it. He didn't want to talk about it. He told, like I said, he told Feldman. Feldman knew. And, he was in a particular point in his life where he didn't know how to deal with it. He didn't want to talk about it. So after the overdose, which was seen in the first, near almost second part of the film, his mother said, well, we need to get you away from Hollywood to get you straightened out and make sure you don't do this again. What pisses me off is that she, along with Feldman's parents, weren't around for them. Where were the parents? The parents were so caught up in, oh, my kid's gonna get crap loads of money. I get to have all that because they're not old enough to handle their finances yet. So it's gonna be in my pocket, my bank account. Da 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 da. No wonder those two went off the way they did. God bless Feldman. He got himself straightened out. He's sober. He's clean. But I wish Haim could have gotten some help when he was younger because there was a lot he had to deal with and he didn't know how to handle it. I really wish his parents could have told him beforehand that they were going to divorce because that made him kind of downward spiral even more. And I don't understand why his parents didn't help him. His mom was there for him, sure, yeah, she was. And that's the part I don't understand. Why weren't you around if you knew, if your son, if you knew that there was these type of people around? Most of them don't know because they don't present themselves as, oh, I'm a sexual predator. I'm going to target your boy. I mean, I think Feldman's father was so enamored or so caught up in, oh, my son's got crap loads of money. I'm going to put it into a business. Or, since my boy's acting up, excuse me, I could hire somebody who is older than my son to watch my son. And that dad should have taken the responsibility to do a background check, to have him answer questions, because apparently those parents didn't know who those people were. They just think, oh, my kid's earning all this money. I'm going to hold on to it since they're not old enough to manage it. And I'm just going to have it. And that's why Feldman didn't get to see a lot of his money, because his parents spent the first of it with what he got, and he never got to see a dime. And then after getting emancipated from his parents, he went and earned another $1 million and had to pay back the court system for all the mistakes he made. And now, because he can't work like everybody else in Hollywood, he's being blacklisted. He's not like everybody else. Everybody else gets a 9-to-5 job. Everybody else gets to have paychecks. He has to find a way to make this situation, this troubling part, known to the whole world. Because everybody has a child, wants their child to be a part of this industry. They don't know what they're in for, but they need to be aware that there's not always good people in this business. And I think, like I said in my last video, when Haim and Jackson died, he kind of, had to go away for a while. Had to get himself straight, figured out what he was going to do, since he knew he was being blacklisted, because he wanted to make this stuff known. He's been saying this for over 20 years. Why hasn't anybody? I will give Alyssa Milano a break, okay, because she's doing enough on her own. But why isn't anybody else helping him? Why isn't everybody else taking a stand with him? Because they all know that this stuff's going on in Hollywood. Why is it all on his shoulders? Why is he being the only one to release the names of the people that are involved? I don't get it. And he's trying to make sure that no other kids get hurt. He's been through this himself, but he needs to make sure he has enough of a legal team to protect him. Should anybody say, oh, I'm going to sue you because you're trying to slander me, or, because that is possible. That's, like I said, that's why he had to change names in his book, for fear of being slandered. It's not easy trying to make this stuff known. And like I said, the first part of the Tale of Two Corys was hard to watch. The second part was a lot easier, because they weren't teenagers. They were grown men now. And they had this love-hate relationship with one another. Haim was still dealing with the trauma that he endured after filming Lucas. Feldman got himself straight, got remarried, had a son, Zane, who is absolutely adorable and beautiful and very smart, very articulate. Corey's trying to do what he can, and everybody's saying, oh, he's this and that, da 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 da. But did you ever think that at some point he didn't want to do this before Haim died? And he wanted to, but he was too scared. He didn't know how to go about doing it, because he wanted to do it first time without naming names. And now everybody's been asking him, oh, Feldman, why don't you release the names of the people that abused you and Haim? If only if it were that easy. These people that are still working in this industry, that are predators, have ways to shut a person up if they want to. They have the financial means to make it known. If I don't want you talking, I can threaten you. I can find out where you live. I can find out who your spouse is. I can find out where your kid goes to school at. I can make your life a living hell. This is why he has not said anything else thus far, because he needs to make sure he has legal protection and bodyguards wherever he goes. He does not go by himself. He has his wife with him. Sometimes. If his wife does not go with him, he has to go by himself, he has armed bodyguards with him 24/7. You have to understand, Feldman's been in this business since he was 3 years old. There's probably some stuff that he's seen that would make the rest of us uncomfortable. I want more people to stand by him. So yeah, there is a problem in Hollywood. Yes, there is pedophiles. They're like everybody else. But no. Everybody else is trying to defend Roman Polanski, who admittedly drugged a 13-year-old girl just to try and have sex with her. Or the fact that Woody Allen left his wife for his stepdaughter, Soon Yi. Nobody is going to forget that. Ever. Or the fact that Rose McGowan, who I have an issue with because it involves Michael Jackson, and I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan, okay? I've been one since I was 9 years old, 1995. That's over 20 years. Rose McGowan wanted to work with Victor Salva, who is a known convicted child molester. And, of course, Rose McGowan, back in 98, 99, was on Howard Stern with Mr. Corey Feldman, making some kind of remark in regards to, oh, you must have slept in bed with Michael Jackson. Don't tell us what went on there. Sweetheart, Rose McGowan, if I were you, I would look up the FBI files. The FBI monitored Michael Jackson from 1993 to 2003. They didn't find one single piece of evidence to say, oh yeah, Michael Jackson was a pedophile. No, he wasn't. He was dragged through the mud. The first set of allegations happened in 93, only because Michael didn't want to finance a screenplay with Evan Chandler, Geordie Chandler's father. So because Michael didn't want to finance a film, he kindly said, no, I appreciate that you're asking me for help, but I don't feel comfortable with wanting to help you because I see you're being shady. So Michael said no. So what did he do? Not only did he say no, Michael said no, but Evan decided to say, oh, since Michael Jackson's not going to help me, I'm going to make up false allegations of him saying that he raped my son. Evan Chandler had somebody put laughing gas in his son's mouth to make up allegations of sexual abuse. Michael Jackson had to turn to painkillers to not only deal with the pain from having a burn in 1984 on the set of a Pepsi commercial, but for the fact that he was being publicly shamed because these allegations broke. And then in 2005, Michael met a family who he tried to help, whose son was sick with cancer. Again, Michael, being the kind-hearted, beautiful person he was, helped out this family. And somebody managed to say, yo, Mike, these people aren't good people. They're going to try and take money from you. You might as well try and help them, but then have them leave because they're going to hurt you. And Michael didn't want to listen. And these people, this family, the Arvanzos, made false allegations against him, saying, oh, Michael Jackson held us prisoner, Michael Jackson molested my son. Michael Jackson, on the timeline that was given, he was not at home when the alleged sexual abuse took place. He was out of the country. That, again, put him through hell. He wouldn't eat. He wouldn't sleep. He wouldn't have fluids because he was afraid somebody was going to kill him. It wasn't until when they had Gavin take the stand, the day after that, they said, well, we need that he had somebody who he was close to take him to the hospital to give him fluids via IV. Had he not been given fluids through an IV, in 12 hours he would have been dead. Okay. After that trial, he had to leave the States for a while to regain some strength and regain his health back because he was being dragged through the mud. He had people sending him death threats during the trial. He had to wear a bulletproof vest. He had to be up at 4:30 in the morning because he still lived at Neverland. After that trial, he never came back to Neverland. He considered that place tainted because they tore up that place when they did the raid in 2003. When I saw those cop cars, I cried for a good 20-25 minutes. I had to get my mother to calm me down. She had to call me and say, I called her and I was just crying. I couldn't stop crying. And it scared the living shit out of me. And, you know, now, hopefully with Mr. Feldman's choreography film, Michael's name will be publicly vindicated because this man's name has been dragged through the mud so many times publicly. I'm pretty sure his kids get sick of hearing it, let alone his mom, his dad, and his siblings. And his ex-wives. Sorry. But this is, you know, I got plenty of heat for defending Michael Jackson. And I'm going to get plenty of heat for defending Corey Feldman. You want to hate me? Go ahead and hate me. I don't care. But this topic of sexual abuse among children in Hollywood needs to be told. Needs to be told because parents need to be aware that Hollywood is not all it's cracked up to be. Alright? That's my 2 cents for now. Alright? Thanks for watching. Bye.